Hey! So I'm going to be doing a little about the taboo period. This is my overview. Okay. So my research questions are 1. Why are women shamed for having their periods? And 2. Why is it so difficult to talk about them? So they're shamed because people, mostly men, claim that menstruation is a dirty process. Apparently, us women are supposed to be dainty and clean at all times, so having a whole week of bleeding from our vaginas makes us unwomanly. We were taught early on, not always on purpose, that having our periods is embarrassing and gross. Religion also plays another big part in why women feel ashamed of their periods. In many religions, for example, Judaism, when a woman gets her period, she is considered impure for 2 weeks. She must then take a ritual bath and offer a sacrifice of 2 doves to the temple in hopes of the rabbi accepting her as pure once again. There are other examples, but I'm not going to get into those. Another reason is because a lot of families teach their children to be ashamed of their periods. The father figure doesn't always want to have the period talk with his daughter, so it is either avoided or extremely uncomfortable and sometimes incorrect. Through generations, some women were taught as little girls to be hush-hush about their periods, so they grow up to pass this on to their children. It can be difficult to talk about menstruation because not everyone knows exactly what it is. For example, some people do not attend school for different reasons and have never taken a health class. A common misconception about periods is that women become more lazy and angry. While it is true that women can be moody during their periods, it does not mean that they're going to be angry during the whole time, as it is different for everyone. Hormone imbalances occur all throughout a woman's life and not just during PMS. Another misunderstanding is that women become lazier during their cycle. This is most likely because they are in a huge amount of stress and pain. An example of ignorance is when someone asks a woman if it's her time of the month, simply because she's irritated or upset about something. So my thesis is, periods should not be considered taboo as it is degrading towards women. Instead, it should be looked at as only a normal bodily function. I think that it is important for women, especially young girls, to not feel like their periods are something to be ashamed about. And we want this to go to this. So the history of the period, featuring its controversies. So periods have obviously been around since humankind was created. The big reason that periods even exist is to show a woman that she's capable of procreating. Before there were commercial menstrual products like tampons, pads, diva cups, and more, there were cloths and sanitary belts. Nowadays, buying pads and tampons can make boys and men very uncomfortable. It's not typically something that is talked about openly as they're judged. The tampon tax is part of a tax that is put onto products that are more like luxury items. Among these are shampoos, conditioners, and condoms. This implies that while men have the option to abstain from sex by not buying condoms, women can just stop bleeding whenever, and only buy pads and tampons when they feel like it. It's ridiculous. In many third world countries such as India, Africa, and others, women are actually cast out of society during their periods. Sometimes there are sheds for their young girls and women to stay in, but they're disgusting and terrifying. So how does my topic affect/relate to me? So I'm extremely tired of people, specifically guys in my time from high school, getting grossed out by seeing me take out a tampon during class to go and change. Sometimes they'd make remarks and I try to tell myself that they're just immature and will never understand what it's like. The tampon tax is really annoying. I didn't realize how expensive tampons and pads can be until I went to college and had to start paying for them on my own. I read in Huffington Post that in the whole world we rack up like $2 million in taxes for tampons annually. And like I said earlier, in my school the guys were rude about periods. We even had health class, and they still chose to act immature whenever a girl needed to be excused during gym or go to the bathroom to change. Since my family isn't religious, they've never ostracized me when I got my period. My mom was actually super excited when I got mine, and in comparison to other families, I feel very lucky to have had a positive period experience. What are the different views on periods? So there are people that are disgusted and disapprove of periods in general, which are typically male and do not have the proper education about menstrual cycles. And then there are people that are slightly uncomfortable but are also accepting. which would be those who have not had the proper education but are willing to accept change and learn about periods. And then there are people that understand that women go through what women go through during their periods and have each other's backs. And then what are some justifying points of the topic? So periods, while not every woman has them, are literally unavoidable for those who do. We have no control over it. It's just our body. And because periods are an uncontrollable bodily function, there is no reason to blame women and cast them out just because someone else finds it dirty. But unfortunately, there will always be people that will find periods disgusting and wrong. While it might be too late to teach past generations, I believe that if we can show the future generations that there is nothing to be ashamed of, and to teach the young boys that a girl's period is just a part of life, then women will no longer have to suffer for something they cannot control.